And it looks like we are live. We are Frantic Romantic, bringing you Hanging with the Friends, episode number 10. And tonight we have the honor and privilege of having Moy from Moy Promotions, from Shout at the Radio, one of the big promoters in Tijuana. We were lucky enough to have him at our last show when we were there, Mike. Remember? I don't know if you...
I do remember.
So many people, but Moy really stood out, man. I mean, he was right there in the front, really giving us some good feedback.
I remember meeting you that night, and I remember we had a great time. And you know, man, I miss it down there. I keep saying this every episode, but I'm really looking forward to the day where I get to go back down to Tijuana.
Right. Me too.
But Moy, thanks for joining us. We're very excited to have you on the show. We'll have tons of questions for you, and you know, for the audience out there listening, feel free to ask Moy some questions as well. We're here to hang out. We're here just hanging with the friends, even though 3 of us are missing tonight, prior engagements. But you know what?
Two amigos left.
Yeah.
But we'll keep it interesting. No worries.
Yeah.
We will keep it interesting.
Perfect. Yeah, well, thank you for having me here. It's always it's nice to see you guys, and hopefully we can make a good show today. Very excited to hear about your band too, and what can we offer here in TJ for all the bands in San Diego and all LA to come and enjoy playing here in Tijuana. Hopefully it will be bigger. The amount of bands coming for very excited to hear about your band too, and what can we offer here in TJ for all the bands in San Diego and all LA to come and enjoy play here in Tijuana.
I'm hearing double audio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Down.
Okay, no worries.
No worries. It happens. You'd be surprised. It actually
happens to me all the time. You know?
Happens a lot. Yeah.
I was hearing me myself.
I'm like, ¿Quién la está regando? And I'm like, oh shit, it's me.
Yeah, it's me. I was hearing stereo, you know. Oh, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah. It's like you're a time traveler almost, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Now, Moy, I gotta
already put down the volume. It's just a matter of time.
Cool. Yeah, no worries.
I gotta tell you, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I'm even a bigger fan of that shirt because it's the pronunciation the way it should be, Gojira. I was just curious, are you a big Godzilla guy?
I'm trying to put the volume here down.
Oh, okay. Can you hear us? I don't know if he can hear us.
I think he's trying to get the volume set just right so that he can hear us, but not have any feedback coming through on his end.
I think if you're...
we can hear you.
Yeah. I think if you're watching the feed, you got to find a way to mute it.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully. Yeah, I hear you enough. Fine. There we go. Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Oh no problem
worries,
at all.
No worries.
Oh hey, we got Linda. We got Linda watching tonight. Hey, Linda.
Hey, I know. It's Tijuana love right there, right? Cool.
Yeah.
So, like we were saying, question of the night: Godzilla.
Well, usually it's
Gojira.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a band that.
It's a band, right? Yeah. They go by the pronunciation, right?
Right.
Okay. We still have the feedback, yeah.
Well,
a little bit. I'm not really hearing it.
I'm not really hearing it either. Yeah.
Just your audio. Maybe it's faint in the background, but it's okay.
I think we're good on our end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if I put headphones.
That might help, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I got headphones on myself. Yeah.
Linda O play with you that time that you play with over there.
We're at
with,
Festiarte in
yeah.
Plaza Alameda in Otay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice girl, very talented.
Oh yeah.
Super talented.
Yeah, we love Linda.
Yeah, we got to share the stage with her that night. She came out and she did our song from our title album, Celestina.
Okay.
Right.
Great. So I think I have the audio here fine, probably.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So can you tell us a little bit about kind of your role in like the scene in Tijuana? Like I know you got a couple things going on. You have Boy Promotions, which brings a lot of great shows together, and you also do Shout Out the Radio too.
Well, yes. Right now, well, everybody's in everybody's
Quarantine,
in pause
right?
right now because all this trouble we have with the COVID-19. But well, yes, since 2014, I started to do by myself some shows. Uh, Later those years, I helped and to bring some other shows, not by my promotion, but by other promoters. Try to help, try to do something, and well, I was thinking, well, let's do it, no, let's try to make something happen, and it's starting to get big. All the we say tributes over here in UK, but not enough bands from San Diego or LA wanted to come to TJ, for various reasons. And I was starting to make some contacts over there in San Diego to try to bring people to play here in Tijuana. And and it was very rough at the beginning because the perspective of TJ over there in San Diego or the States, it's very different that the things we live here. It's I don't know how to say it, but they don't trust too much coming here to Tijuana for various reasons, and that's was the trouble to in the beginning. Um, and I tried to go to a lot of venues over there in San Diego to see bands, and they were great, man. A lot of bands that play very good. They just look like the originals. If you close your eyes, it was like, whoa, I'm hearing the band over there, no? And then you open your eyes and the guys, look like the singer.
The bands, right.
They do all of it. So for me, it was great because I was starting to find things that never come here to DJ. So a lot of bands, they were like, oh, Tijuana, no, thank you. And they just throw me my card. I was like, whoa, that was rude. but I was like trying to see with whom, no?
Right.
And there was one guy over there who I speak one time I went to see a Judas Priest tribute band. It was a Judas Priest, a Deep Purple, and I don't remember. It was a Rob Zombie. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was in what's the name of this place? It's I forgot. It was Brick by Brick.
And that was out of San Diego, right? Brick by Brick.
Brick, and it was one guy in the bar, and I was talking with him, and I would say, I have a Tool tribute. I was like, whoa. For me, Tool is like, do you play Tool? Who plays Tool? It's very, very difficult to play that.
Right.
And the guys were like, yeah, we can play. Come over next Saturday. We're gonna play here. And they were amazing, man. It was the band's called Spiral Out, and
They do
there
Perfect
was,
Circle and Tool, right?
yeah. Well, that's another tribute band from Tool, and additional, and they took, and a great show, man. It was amazing. People were like, "Whoa, who are these guys?" And then that's the day that everybody started like, "Hey, you're gonna bring more bands," and these guys returned to us and returned with a with a positive vibe, from TJ. It was
Yeah.
like it treat us right. We drink, we we eat, we have fun, we have more fans, and I don't know if this is the same experience that you have the last time you came
That's
here.
the exact same experience for us. Like, it was just like night and day. We love playing live. That's like one of our one of the favorite things that we have when it comes to being a band is being able to connect with the audience. And we just got such a reaction when we played in Tijuana. Like, for me, I had been frequenting Tijuana for years, and I'd always go by the clubs and I'd listen to the bands and I'd say, shit, one of these days we're going to come and do our thing here. And when we finally did, it was amazing. It was like very cool. I could see what you mean by how people wouldn't have the right, I guess, conception or whatever. They have these misconceptions, right? But once you play for the audience in Tijuana, you just know what's up. It's just a whole different thing. It's great.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's people here in Tijuana. They give all 100% in the show. They're very critical. Like checking
Yeah.
all of it, and we have to make a good show. Well, for me, I grew
Right.
up in the shows in the 80s. Looking at bands like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue. All
Guns
those.
N' Roses. Right. Yeah.
Guns N' Roses was a little bit more late
A little
80s,
later.
but
Yeah.
the genre of glam metal, heavy metal, thrash metal, when they
Yeah.
were starting to grow, and it was, you can see all the details in the band, like the not a lot of new groups make it, the way that they dress, the fireworks, lights, all that kind of like theatric
The
thing
visual.
that
Yeah.
visual they started to lose, like in the 90s, with the grunge movement. It was just speakers and guys playing there with not a lot of feeling, like old times, no. Well, I
I see
leave
what you
that.
mean. Yeah. Yeah.
So when,
The cinematic kind of aspect kind of was
Right.
yeah,
lost, right? Yeah.
those times there were no big, like screens and all that,
Productions.
but
Right.
it was all
Yeah.
Ronnie James Dio, Motley Crue, it was all like, it was a party, man, going to a show, and
Yeah.
that's the thing I wanted to bring in a small venue. So, as what we can do, what could, what can be, in the venue they don't allow me to do fire, but we were
Yeah.
thinking about that because 2 or 3 times we have like a tribute from Ramstein, and was like, yeah, let's burn something, but the guy in the venue said, no way, man. So that was my image to do that, and people see that, like, hey, this guy put a little bit more on the production that usually we see some band just playing and nothing else. So that was the thing that people get like an extra for the ticket, and the bands love it.
Yeah.
If I put more things, they love more, because sometimes in the venues over there in the States they don't allow a lot of that, hard rock
Right.
and like
Right.
house of blues. So they're like, there's a stage, that's all. So
Right.
that was the main thing. That was my perspective to do, and it's working, because people know that when they go to a show, they're gonna find just the music, but an extra with all the show.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's giving them like the full entertainment. I mean, Michael and I are always talking about we're musicians, but we're also entertainers, and people are paying, money to come see a show, right? So that's the difference maker right there between a regular show and seeing something with some production behind it. That's great, man.
And
Yeah.
you were show because, like I told you when I see you play this time at TJ, I imagine a little bit more like a muse, the
Yeah.
muse was the all the look Michael. Michael is like the guy who would singer,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
and man, you do a great show, man. You 100% with the people. You go down, you all with the people and sing with everybody, and that you don't see that a lot. You don't see that in musicians, and cheers for you, man, because that was a great show. Even it was like not too much like gathering of people, but everybody was rocking, and that's very important in a band,
Well,
for
and
me.
I thank you. And I think, a lot of it has to do with, and I know it's this case with Ruben and with you too, when you go out to see bands and you see bands that don't interact with the crowd, they don't really move around. They, I mean, they play their music, but that's about it. It's a little bit of a bummer, and I love the idea that these, when you're playing in front of audiences, you're playing in front of people that, let's say they've had a bad day or they've had a bad week or they've had a bad month or they've had a bad year, but they get to go to this show and they get to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
And for whatever 30 minutes or an hour, they get to feel special, right?
Yes.
When we were watching Linda Allen, that's how I felt. I felt like, damn, this is like
Yeah.
just
It's a
amazing, just
Right.
amazing. And it's funny, we were talking about how she came up to sing a song with us, and when she did that, and it was her and I singing back and forth, like, I mean, I was just a huge nerd, I was a huge geek about it. I was like, oh, I can't believe that I get to be up here singing with this really cool singer,
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, it's so much fun. It's never like when we play shows, it doesn't ever feel like work. It just feels like fun. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the work comes before the show, right? We rehearse, we put in all
Yeah,
these man hours for that, but when you're performing, you're on. You know what I mean? It's all about the audience.
Right.
Yeah, because people, when I go to a show, usually I get excited because I want to see one of my favorite bands, whatever, no. And it's the the week before the show and hearing music and playing videos, whatever, no. Now in Facebook you put 5 days away, 4 days away, for a show, and that day you hang out with your friends, have a beer, have a lemonade, whatever you drink, go to the show, and it's all the excitement, when you get enter the arena and whatever, buy the shirt, whatever, and then you see the show and you see the musician like blah blah blah. You're like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a letdown, Yeah.
Yeah, it's a letdown. So when I remember shows, well, in fact, in the present, when you go and you see like how do you say, like una, ¿cómo se dice? Cortina, Ruben, una cortina.
Oh, the curtain.
Like
You see the curtain closed, right?
the curtain,
Yeah.
I do that in the shows that I do. I put a curtain because I want to make like a private thing into the people in the band, and they can put the cables and whatever they're doing behind the stage, and people don't notice it, because it's like
Right.
a mystery. Wow, shit, the show's gonna begin, and that for me is all the work that I do for the show. There's 2 months, maybe 3 months, since the first time I called the band and say, hey, do you want to come over? There's a date here, or whatever, and all the saying, I want this, I want that, I want these drums, I want this guitar, and all the flyers, all those things that maybe people don't see it, but it's a job that it's about 2 or 3 months in the making, you know. And sometimes just they say, you just work 3 hours, you know, the show. No, man,
No,
no
No
it's a
way.
lot of
way.
work.
No
And
way.
the bands too. The bands they work every day doing their music, trying to get a note, whatever. No, I'm not a musician. I cannot play nothing, you know. But I like doing shows. That's the way I can make music, you know. So when the curtain is starting to open, man, is the time that I enjoy more because I look at the people faces. It's like, yeah, like in the music stars and all that. Usually I say to the bands, hey, make an intro, you know, to start making like noise, whatever, and then we open the curtains and then you start to begin to your show, no?
Mm-hmm.
And some bands do it. Some bands the same day of the show are like, hey, your intro. Oh man, I forgot. Like, what is your show, man? You're supposed to give me this 1 week ago, you know? So that's the thing you in front sometimes when you make shows that sometimes you're like, oh man, they don't really want to give your time is your hour, 2 hours of show. You have to blow, you know, because people are gonna go out and see your T-shirt and gonna buy the CD and buy it. And I cannot do that for them, you know. I can provide the venue, the show, the publicity, but you have to make the show, man. You have to bring your things,
You
and
have to
sometimes
deliver,
it doesn't
right?
happen.
You have to deliver.
Yeah. Yes.
I
So
mean, it all goes hand in hand, right? I mean, all that stuff's there to support your brand, your T-shirt, your CD, your posters, but you have to have substance behind that. I think that's one of the important things. And little things like coming up with your intro, having that bang, the curtain. I mean, for me, I think that's magic, right? Like
yeah, it's
people are
magic.
just waiting. There's anticipation, and once that barrier comes down, it's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then when I remember that, well, the last show I went this year, it was I went to see Tool, and
Yeah.
and it was amazing. They have a curtain, but it was like transparent. You know, you can see,
Like
but
Ned.
it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it was rare because they play like 4 songs with the curtains, you know, closed. It was like open it, you know, because they have some kind of effect with lights and all that. It was very cool, man. But
Yeah, yeah.
when they opened the curtains, it was like definition, you know, like whoa, the stage, you know, and with the curtains, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like seeing TV like in the 80s, you know, like but they exaggerated in the curtains, but it's that kind of thing that like I told you guys, I live that and it was magic for me. So I
Yeah.
Yeah.
tried to do that and tried to talk with the band and trying to let them know what I feel, what I want to do. And sometimes they're like, okay, this guy's a little crazy. But when they do the finish touch, there was like, whoa, man, it was the best show that we have, and thank you very much. And then they apply that in
Other
your
shows,
other
right?
shows, and it was I'd say if they do that, they seem they like it, you know. So that's cool.
That's
I,
awesome.
I'm curious. You know, out of all the big acts that you've seen, do you have a favorite band that you've seen live and a least favorite band? Were there any bands out there that disappointed you?
For the tribute bands,
Or just
I
any
or
bands, any
I'd
bands, I
say
think in
any
general.
bands, yeah.
but they play here in Tijuana or the show that I see in San Diego or LA, whatever.
Well, that's a good counter question. How about in San Diego?
Well, if you ask me what is the my favorite band to see live, um, I'm a guy that you know right now is ultra generous. Géneros, géneros,
Genres, right? The genres, right?
Rubén,
Ah,
muchos géneros de
genres.
música, pero ¿cómo se dice en inglés?
There's a lot of
Ajá,
genres of
and
music.
yeah, we have each week. Today is another one that they invent, you know, like hard rock, Viking rock,
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
metal.
Right. They got spooky core. They have emo core. They have
Blah.
Hello
So,
Kitty metal. Right.
They tell me, what is your favorite canopy? I like, oh, here, yeah. Oh, yes. So there's a lot of it. So they ask me, what is your genre of music you like? I like rock and roll, man. I like pop, and I like I don't know, maybe some kind of like piece, whatever, no. But I can hear one day, I can still hearing, like Pat Benatar, and maybe other day I can hear Wasp, and another day I can hear Tool, another day I can hear Slayer, and then I can hear Brian Adams. I like all,
Yeah.
always rock and roll, but live I get more excited seeing some heavy metal bands, like.
Yeah.
But the band that blew me away, and you have to see it before something happen. You have to see Ramstein.
Oh yeah, I've seen them a couple times.
I hear they're great. Yeah.
With the pyrotechnics.
You know what I mean, Ruben? You know
Totally.
what I mean?
The pyrotechnics on the guitar, every time they hit a certain chord,
Everything.
the flame busts up. Yeah.
And Ramstein for me is a music, it's like industrial, hard rock, whatever. But it's I compare a little bit. Maybe I'm out of reach here, but it's like AC/DC. AC/DC, it's almost the same music, like.
They said they did the same album 18 times, right?
Yeah,
AC/DC
you like it.
Yeah.
And Ramstein, maybe a little bit different. They have some ballads. They have some like spooky songs, but it's like.
But you know what you expect from them, right? The same kind of rhythms, the keyboards, all that stuff, and the fire,
keyboard,
right?
The lighting, it's like, what the hell am I looking at? And so that's one band that somebody, and a lot of people don't like Ramstein. They're like, hey, go to see him. Don't criticize band if you don't never see him live.
Right.
That's the way that you're gonna like, you can say shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's fine. I'll say it. Shit. There you go. So you're good.
And so that's one of the bands. It's a lot of bands, I like Motley Crue, man. You can see like over here.
Right.
That's my first steps of rock and roll. The Leopard, Motley Crue, Judas Priest for me is the metal gods.
We're actually going to be working with somebody who played with Judas Priest pretty soon.
I see Muse live.
Oh,
really?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Same here.
Oh.
Muse is great live.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, we're going to be working with one of the drummers that played with Judas Priest on an upcoming project that we're doing.
Oh,
nice. I didn't know that. I mean,
with Simon. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He played with Judas Priest. He played with Judas Priest, man. Yeah.
All right. Well,
he's just been all over the place.
You know the name of the guy?
Yes, Simon Phillips.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He actually played with Toto up until recently. You know how they recently just retired? He was their drummer too. But he was playing with Judas Priest too for some time.
Yeah.
I would think that's a cool tidbit there, because I always think about Toto, but then I'm like,
perfect.
no, he played with Judas Priest too,
So that's the major leagues. These guys. Toto is another great band. That's a lot of great band live, Michael. But Tool, it's a great band.
Oh yeah.
Spectacular band live. One of my favorites, Dream Theater. It's a progressive rock metal.
Right.
Whatever they can, but they are great musicians. I don't know if you sometimes hear these guys.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
They're like I don't know.
Yeah, Petrucci, all those guys are great. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a poster here, Dream Theater here. So a lot of bands, man. One that I don't like when I go to see them, I respect all the bands, it's hard to say. Maybe some bands I don't even remember because they open the show, but I don't remember seeing someone that I like dislike, because it's hard to be in the stage, man.
It is.
Like I told you, I'm a musician. It's nice it's not to be over there, play music, be good to the town. Well, I never had the opportunity to see a band that.
Sorry, Moy, I think you broke up a little bit there.
So, okay, cool. You hear
Sorry
me?
about that. I think we can hear you now, though. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Oh, for the question of the band that I don't like, I say that I respect all the musicians. I want to pass on that one. Maybe maybe I saw some band that opened for another band, and it was a little bit not in the. There's a lot of new bands that play metal, but they play like 1,000 miles per hour and scream and all that. You know, I'm not too much into that. I like to like hear the voice, hear a solo.
Right.
Right. There's got to
understand
be
a
some
little bit
balance,
the
right?
word. Yeah, balance. But hey, a lot of a new genre of people like that. I respect that. Just not my.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. I shall take a quick minute to just send a quick saludo to people that are checking us out. I see Zeke Zero is tuning in. I see Susana, Amy Griego. I saw Bob Swanson, Carlos.
By the way,
Linda
happy
Allen.
anniversary. Just want to say happy anniversary to
guys.
Zeke
It's great, man.
and Susanna.
Hey, Zeke, happy anniversary.
I find it interesting that they're watching our video
on their
anniversary.
Right?
I'm very flattered. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's watching, and feel free to ask any questions for Moy or for us. We're here.
I'm more than happy. Yeah.
We're here just hanging with the friends.
Talking about music.
Yeah. Moy, I can't help but notice you have quite a music collection behind you there.
Oh yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna leave when I die, man.
La herencia, right? La herencia que vas a dejar. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm a old school man. I like my CDs, and I have some tapes here,
Nice.
and yeah, I like that. I like to well,
Have the
first of all,
physical,
was
physically have it, right?
physical. I can tell you that I have never paid for a download music. Never. I don't know to the store and buy the CD. We don't have any stores now. Over here in TJ, we have a store. We have like 3 or 4.
You have a few. Yeah. You have what is it? La Ciruela Eléctrica. We know because they're carrying our record there.
Yeah.
It is in something that rock, algo de rock.
There's a bunch of little stores that they sell CDs, LPs, and all that. There's La Ciruela Eléctrica. Está
the seguidores de rock or something like that. I forget. Fundadores.
Well, they sell more T-shirts. Está Rock Fundadores with Juan
Rock
Carlos.
Fundadores, that's
Rock
the one.
Fundadores is with Juan
There's that
Carlos.
little shop. It's called something retro.
Where did I buy Linda's?
Retro. What's it called? Retro what?
Retro Records.
Retro Records. That's where we got Linda's CD. I got her CD there too.
Right
yeah. And there's a lot of places here that usually right now the vinyl, the LPs are very like they're like starting to a lot of people sell LPs. I used to have LPs, in the 80s. That was the thing you buy. But when you grow up, it was like the early 90s. And you have a car, and you have like, and then the CD and the tape, and was like, okay, I have this thing. What I do? I sell it, and I saw all my LPs, all of it. It was a store over here called Quinto Poder, and I remember going there with all my
selling them.
I don't know how.
Well, it's like a changing of the format, changing of the guard, right?
Number, like and give it all away. You know, like.
Yeah.
And now I'm like
Kicking yourself, I bet, right? Because you must have had some real good records, right?
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So right now I'm starting to buy. So yeah, don't sell your LPs, man.
No,
I have my.
Right. I took a while to transition from cassettes to CDs. I just didn't want to do it. I had so many cassettes. People would be like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you that for your birthday." I'm like, "Get me the cassette. Don't get me the CD." You know.
Right now, no. Right now, you don't find new cassettes. You can find only the old ones. And yes, I have some of them. One of my favorites here. Let me see. Well, it's about, but you know, right now it's very. You can see in the commercial red.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place right now.
It's like top 10 right now, you know.
Right now,
it's a song from '84. By the way, that's the first band. That's the first band I went to see in Sports Arena. Red with
Red.
Oh
with
wow.
Lita Ford.
Oh wow.
Oh cool.
It was a great show because the first like thing that I saw live in concert was that show, and the first image that I have is that a blonde lady, beautiful body, all in black with a guitar. That was Lita Ford.
Right.
And it was like, whoa, what I'm seeing, you know. I was 13 years old, you know, like
yeah.
So that was my
I imagine
first
you were hooked.
and
you were hooked from there, right?
From that day, you know. And now I'm laughing because I'm looking at Rat right now in Deco commercials. I don't know.
Geico, yeah. Geico commercials, yeah.
It was like, oh, watch these guys over here, you know.
You know, I felt like that. I felt like that when I started seeing like MC
yesterday.
Hammer in commercials, you know. That's stuff that I remember from when I was younger. You know?
MC
like,
Hammer, yeah.
I see him in commercials. I'm like, MC Hammer, what the hell, you know?
MC Hammer, yeah. So, but here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
You can see all the new series right now. They're in Netflix and whatever. You can see only like 80s music, you know, like and
it's huge right now. It's huge, right? You see like Stranger Things, it's all over it, right?
Yeah.
I remember
any other show, really. They're all very nostalgic, very much of that era. You know, you hear all that music coming through.
I was watching a series called Dark. It's
Dark,
a German
right.
It was like talking about Creator, you know, a band, a thrash metal band Creator. We're like, whoa, talking about Creator, you know. So that's the music. I know that people are for different generations, but you know, 80s. I lived the 80s, man, and it was a great time for music, man. Everything was selling out. Everything was party. Everything. It was a great era. I know that you're more younger, you know. Maybe you're more 90s, you know. Maybe I don't know. I'm guessing.
No, you're right on the head. Yeah, we did grow up in the 90s. We were 90s kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good music too. Very good music. The thing is that the grunge come in very very hard, and all my bands were like bye, you know, because it was a changing of the guard.
Right. Yeah. It's just kind of like all of a sudden, what was making the companies money didn't look like that anymore. It looked sadder, I guess. It looked a little more working man. You know what I mean? That was kind of the look, you know. All these guys from like the Lager Town.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody with what is the clothes the
flannel.
Oh, flannel.
I was late watching a series called The Walking Dead, and I say, hey, all the grungers are dead because every have the.
Son todos cochinos y no, yeah. Like ropa toda rota.
Flannel, you know, like what the hell?
Right.
Even the guys from the 80s is starting to look like that, trying to change a little bit the music because they have to sell that. and
Right.
they were not good, you know. Stick what you have, you know. But I like when music with bands
Oh.
try to make a little bit of change and risk a little bit. It's great. I respect a lot when bands try to do that, you know. So
Yeah. Well,
it's
in a previous episode, I forgot who brought it up, but it's interesting what, you know, these bands will come along and do something new, and then that new sound kind of goes back into what music is, right? And then, you know, what you eventually get is you get bands that are playing, you know, let's say thrash metal, but then there's like a just like a little influence from some other era, right? That they're able to throw into their music too. And I think that's always interesting when that happens, right? You know, like not saying I'm a fan of emo rap, but what's happening right now, actually, there's a genre that's blowing up called emo rap, and it's just basically, it sounds like emo music, but it's these emo singers rapping, and I
oh
think that's really interesting. You
yeah.
know?
You never know. Uh, the thing here is that you have sample the USA, Michael, of a band that changed, and it's Metallica.
Yeah.
Metallica in the '80s, they were a trash band. You know, they were hard. They were best. In the '90s, they changed. They
Right.
cut the hair. They put a little makeup. You know, they were like
They're
some
wearing the Cuban
hardcore
suits. They're smoking
trash.
cigars, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were suits and cigar. You know,
I remember they got a lot of shit for that, right? Like everybody,
loud
it
and
was like they sold
loud,
out.
you know, and I like that, you know, they have
Well,
they sold out everything, you know, and people
Right.
say, oh, you sold out, you blah blah blah. I don't get it. I
well,
like it. It was a risk.
yeah, and you know what's interesting is a lot of people rag on the Black Album, but I mean the Black Album, to me, still the Black Album is like a masterpiece. You know, it was one of the first albums I ever bought, and it just, you know, blew me away. You know, um, and I think Rick Rubin, you know, Rick Rubin, he took two bands that were kind of underground in the '80s, right? The Red Hot Chili Peppers and Metallica,
Yeah.
and then he gave them basically their biggest albums ever. And really those albums kind of set the tone for the '90s in general, right? Blood Sugar Sex Magic and the Black Album are just two, like,
Well, Michael, the Black Album was with Bob Rock,
oh, I'm sorry, wow,
That
but
was Bob
oh,
Rock, yeah.
but
Bob Rock was
my
with
bad.
them up
Rick
until
Rubin,
some
but
kind of
Rick
monster.
Rubin, but Rick Rubin do, if I'm not
Slayer.
mistaken, I did the, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did Slayer and he
But
did Chili Peppers, like you were saying. A lot of their great
Okay,
albums.
Bob
boy, I'm
Rock,
gonna get a
the
lot of
thing
shit for
is
that.
here, the metal can. Oh no, it's okay. Because the thing is, there were two genres in the they were like fighting. I don't know why, but it was the glam metal or glam rock or hair metal, LA, Hollywood, everything, the Palladium, and I don't know, whiskey, all that. It was glam metal. You know, you can see it if you see the movie The Dirt. I don't know if
Yeah.
you already
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. The Motley
Oh,
Crue,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the guys from the trash, the hardcore, the bad, the mean, you know, like let's get out here, let's go to San Francisco, Oakland, whatever, and they do that music over there. I like both, you know, like I told you, I can hear Poison and then I can hear Slayer. I don't
Yeah.
mind. I like it. You know, I want to have fun. I can hear Poison. You know, if I want to be, oh yeah,
You want to kick someone's ass, you'll listen to some
Depends on
thrash
your
from
mood.
Slayer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the combination of British metal, the British and the punk. They, you know, and
Right.
and the glam come from come from David Bowie, from I'm not mad. I like that's the beauty of music, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, um, I was the thing is that in the 80s there were two sides. When Motley Crue do the album Dr. Feelgood, I don't know if you
Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
88, 89. Yeah. And Metallica, Cold Blood Rock, you know? It was like, if you hate so much these guys, what do you call the same producer, no? It was weird because they were toe to toe, you know? Who's better? And
Right.
and basically that happened with a lot of bands. The thing here is when Metallica did the Black Album, they were never coming back, man. They were the biggest band ever, you know. And
Right.
something
I mean, that's when
happened.
they got radio play basically after the Black Album. Because before that, if you're
Yeah,
comparing
no,
Motley Crue and Metallica, Crue had radio play, video play. Metallica was getting huge by word of mouth, by people
Right.
exchanging tapes, people going to
Yeah.
concerts, you know? And the Black Album blew the lid off. It was
Yeah.
just like, that's it. Like you said, no coming
Yeah.
back. Yep.
Just
the thing is, Metallica always told that they never were gonna make a video or whatever. They never gonna sold out. That's why maybe a lot of people say like, come on, you never say just say that, and then you make like 4 videos for the next album, no? But
Right.
man, you have to solve your music. I don't know. I don't
You have to
understand
adapt.
that way of
Yeah,
thinking
you have
of
to
bands.
adapt.
Like,
People are closed-minded when it
adapt,
comes to
man.
that.
And the thing is, you sold out. Yeah, I sold out all my LPs. I'm number
All the tickets,
one,
right?
and I sold out all the shows. And
Well,
Right.
if you play in this venue with half of people and your album is already now nobody's buying, there's a problem there. So I don't understand that way of thinking of people. You know, if you don't like it, you know, man, whatever. Here's something else, no?
and it
It's
is.
funny when you see on Facebook something about a group and people starting throwing
Yeah, that's right.
pedradas or shit, whatever.
Right,
Say,
right.
if you don't like it where you're in this page, man, go.
Go somewhere else, right?
I know
Yeah.
that it's a free country and you can say whatever, but if you don't like it, why you follow it? You know, I don't follow rap. I don't because I don't like it, but I'm not gonna talk shit about that. You know, reggaeton, I don't like it, and I don't follow it. I don't because I don't like it. You know, I hear it and I say it's the same shit. You know, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I cannot talk.
I mean, it all comes down to personal
That's
taste, you know.
why
Yeah.
Personal taste and personal experience. And you know, something interesting about rock, I don't know if this just exists with rock, but it seems like whenever a band goes from being underground to being huge, everybody all of a sudden gets super jealous and super insecure and you know what I mean? Like they just turn on, like the same thing happened to Green Day. Green Day was
Right.
this Bay Area punk band, and the moment they became famous, the whole
you
scene,
sold out.
the whole scene around them just
He
turned
sold
on
out.
them.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, you know, it's funny,
Interesting.
but that happened to him twice, right? Because when I was a kid, they blew up, right? They went super mainstream with the album Dookie. It just
Right.
blew up. It just changed
Dookie.
music
I like
for a
that.
while,
I
right?
like the album. I have it here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I love that album, right? And I was all for it. And then they kind of faded away for a few years.
They
Their
did.
next albums weren't really hits. I even saw an
Yeah.
article in the paper here saying Bay Area giant gets ready to say goodbye. You know what I mean? That's what people were
Oh,
counting
wow.
them out already. And they put out American Idiot, and then like literally everybody just turned on them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, not
That's
everybody. A lot of
great
people
album.
love them, right? A lot of people love them, right? But a
That-
lot of people were like, no,
great
you sold out.
album. I know some punk bands. You know, I'm not.
I mean, I really think it comes down to evolving and adapting with the scene. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be everybody's favorite, but you have to adapt. I think you really do, you know? And I feel like we had to do that as Frantic Romantic, you know? We just,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and I mean, you know, the interesting thing is about like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, you know, to a certain extent, like if someone's a punk band, right? And this has now become your career where you're making a living being a band. I think there's some elasticity to that, right? You can do,
Right.
I think you can do what you want. You can decide that, hey, you know what, maybe I don't want to be punk anymore. Or, you know, maybe we're punk, but we're a different kind of punk. Or maybe we're doing our own, we're leaning into our own thing a little bit, you know, which I think is what Green Day did. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Moy, I'm worried that we lost you. Are you there? Oh, darn.
I think
Well,
we did lose him. Well, I think he'll come back.
here's the thing, Ruben. We are actually at time anyways.
Okay.
So don't worry, everybody. We'll message Moy separately. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right.
There
Hey, what's up, man?
we lost you there for a second.
We did. Moy,
I'm back.
hey.
Ruben, is there?
Yeah, we hear
Yes. We're actually at time.
Sorry, I'm here.
I think
you. No worries.
I think we actually just reached the end of the show time wise.
But this is usually where we like to see if we can plug anything, any projects, anything coming up, and just kind of, you know, give your shout outs to any of the people watching.
Yeah, tell us more about yourself. Tell the audience at home more about yourself, where we can find where we can find your information, and just generally speaking, more information about you. Oh no. Okay. Well, hey everybody. That was our guest Moy, and he is actually the head of Moy Productions that runs a ton of shows out of Tijuana, including the Black Box. Correct, Ruben?
Yeah, a lot of shows out of the Black Box and a couple other venues over there. Brings a lot of tribute bands, you know, bands that play stuff like from Tool, Guns N' Roses. They're called the Experience concerts.
Yeah.
And he's also a co-host.
Sorry,
on, Shout at the Radio.
I was left a little bit. I'm here. Do you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, we can
hear
hear
you.
and see you.
Yeah, we have a program called Shadow the Radio.
Yeah.
With Santiago, two other guys that usually you speak with friends, talk about the anniversaries, you know, remember some old days, talking about shows that are coming up, and you know, have a
Right, I got to check out your show. I saw some of the stuff from the YouTube page that you sent me for Shout Up the Radio. It's awesome stuff. I mean, like you said, it's talking about upcoming shows, talking about records, kind of like what we're doing here with Hanging with the Friends. You know, remembering the good times, just little trivia things that you wouldn't know, wouldn't think of, and just some dudes just having a good time. You know?
Yeah.
Cool.
All
well,
right.
you know, sorry about the technical difficulties, guys.
Hey, it happens.
It does, yeah.
I was I have something to say.
You know, one of the things Moya told me is that he wanted us to come on and do be guests on Shout at the Radio at some point. I told him we'd love to do it, you know?
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap, folks. Moy, thank you for being on the show. For everybody out there,
this year. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you for giving us time, man. It was
All
great.
right.
It was great talking with you.
thank you, Moy.